So hello everyone, it's your Beauty 87 here, and today we're going to get into part 2 of the side chick makeup, as I like to call it. So I know you all haven't seen the first one, so let me explain how it goes. Because technically I'm going to put this one up first, even though I have one already filmed. I need to finish actually adding to that one. But anyway, so let's get started. So side chick makeup is basically how you have a makeup product that you love, that you really like a whole lot, but then when you run out of it and you don't necessarily want to repurchase, or you can't afford to repurchase at that time, you have other things that are similar to it that'll get you by till you can get the main thing back that you really like to have. That's why I'm calling it like side chick makeup. For example, love my Blue Moon palette. This palette is amazing. It's gorgeous. Look at the inside of it. Like, y'all know I'm wearing blue right now, but it's not this palette. I did a palette mashup with Natasha Denona Safari palette and the Decadence palette. Since I finally got my Decadence palette in the mail, I finally got it after the third time was the charm, like they say. But anyway, so as you all know, I love blue, so this is my favorite like monochromatic blue palette from ColourPop, obviously. However, if I didn't have this, or I had ran out of this, and you know ColourPop was shut down for a while, I would have been fine with just using this electric blues from what is it, Profusion. So this is kind of like my side chick palette. Like, if I did not have this palette, I would be okay with using this palette, but this is my main chick, and this is my side chick. So that's I thought there'd be a funny and clever way of calling makeup items as opposed to just being like, you know, my backup things, or the B team, or whatever you want to call it. So let's get into some more eyeshadow palettes, because I got plenty. I got a lot of dupe palettes for like other palettes, so this is mainly what this video is, all my dupe palettes compared to my original palettes. For example, y'all know I love Dominique Cosmetics. I have every Dominique Cosmetics palette there is. This is the Latte, the very first one she came out with. Gorgeous color story. However, if I did not have this palette, I would use my side chick palette, which is the what is this, C Color Cosmetics unisex 4. So they basically duped like a few influencer palettes. Like the Dope palette is supposed to be a dupe for Manny MUA's Life's a Drag, and then they got like a Dope 2 that's supposed to be a dupe for Laura Lee's what is Nudie Patootie. But this is supposed to be the dupe for the one I just showed you, which is Latte palette. Both of mine came broken, and I ended up getting brand new ones sent to me for free, but I kept the broken one so that way I could do a giveaway with the new ones. So that's why that shade down there is cracked, and the next palette I'm going to show you the same way. But this is my side chick, and this is my main chick. Like, if I didn't have this palette, I would be fine with this one, because the color story is exactly the same. And the formula is actually pretty good for, you know, like how much it costs, because I think I caught that when it was like 20% off on top of it. So it's a pretty good deal. So this is the Dominique Cosmetics Lemonade palette. I've talked about this plenty of times. This is one of my least favorite Kirsten Dominique palettes. I have one other one that I don't like as well as this one. It's the Sweater Weather, but that's because it's mainly all mattes, and y'all know I like to have some shimmers, or I have to use singles. But anyway, this is what it looks like on the inside. Now the shimmers in this are pressed entirely too hard, which is why I don't like this palette. So I actually would make this one be my main chick, the Unisex 5, because the shimmers in here are beautiful. As you can see, this palette had a broken shimmer in it too, but that helped me give you all the new one in the giveaway, because it didn't break. So this is what the palette looks like. This would actually be my main chick, just because the shimmers in this work way better than this. The mattes in this one are better than this one, but believe it or not, this is the main chick, and this is the side chick when it comes to this palette anyway. So next I have a highlighter palette. So this one actually just re-released. This is Nicole Guerrero and ABH's highlighter palette. So this is what it looks like on the inside, just in case nobody knew. And I heard they reformulated the way they did it, so it wasn't like those huge chunks of glitter like are in this one. They're not in the new one. That's what I heard. I forgot who I heard that from, so don't quote me. But it's like, I know I heard a YouTuber say that they had changed the formula of it, because they rebought it just to see if it was the same as their old one, since they had decluttered their old one, and that the particles of glitter aren't as big as like in my original one. But anyway, if I did not have this palette, I would use the Innuendo palette by ColourPop and be just fine. And this one, if I remember correctly, is a permanent palette. So it's like, it's not exactly the same, but it gives similar colors. And I can actually use all colors in this one. Within Nicole's, I feel like there's 1 or 2 shades that I have to mix together to make work. But these, I don't feel like I have to mix them. I mean, I do mix them, and I've made a good dent in this one and this one. But yeah, if I didn't have my Nicole Guerrero palette, I would be fine with this one. So this is my main chick, and this is my side chick. We're gonna do some more eyeshadow palettes. So I got a couple of Natasha Denona ones. I got a couple of They're called Huda Beauty ones. And then I think that should pretty much be it, but I feel like that's enough. Anyway, so this gorgeous miniature version of a Natasha Denona palette is the Sunrise palette. I did not buy the Sunset palette just because y'all know warm tones are my aesthetic, and for $129 it needs to be my aesthetic. This one I can tolerate spending $65 on because it has this purple and it has these nice berry tones in it along with the yellow tones. Now y'all know I'm not really feeling the oranges in this palette or these shades right here, but overall it's a nice palette for what it is. And as you know, the formula Natasha Denona is hit or miss, but this is one of the good ones, so I would recommend this one. However, if I did not have this one, I would be fine with my Alter Ego Aura palette. It is the exact same color story, and the mattes aren't as good as in the Natasha Denona palette, but I like the shimmers in this one better than I do in the Natasha Denona one. So if I didn't have my main chick, the Sunrise palette, I'd be fine with the Aura palette, and everything would be good. The next one I have is the Natasha Denona Gold palette. Now, y'all know the last time I showed y'all this palette, you haven't seen that video yet, though. But, like, this shade right here had, like, fell out of the pan. I had to put it back in that video, and I was pissed because I'm like, I've only used this, like, I think 3, maybe 4 times. And I feel like eyeshadow pan shouldn't be falling out the pan whole. Especially since you charge $129 for this. I feel like every shade should stay in here perfectly. Because this was, like, with shipping and tax, probably like $135, $140. So, it's like, this shade along with all the other ones need to stay in their pants. Don't play with me. But the color story, this is beautiful. I love this mustardy, like poopy looking shade right here. I don't know, I love shades like that, and I like the blues and like the shimmers. Overall, I like this palette a lot, and this was actually the first big size Natasha Denona palette I bought just because I thought the color story was so pretty. So that's definitely a ride or die main chick palette for me. However, if I did not have that palette, I would be fine with the Goddess palette from Alter Ego. Now, I don't feel like the form of this is nearly as good as the gold palette. But I mean, like, if you're willing to work with a little bit, I definitely think it would be worth it. So I just have to work a little bit harder than I do with, obviously, the Natasha Denona Gold palette. But for $130, you shouldn't have to do much work. But anyway, this is what it looks like. So if I didn't have my main chick, which is the gold palette, I'd be fine with my side chick. And I think this one is under $20. I think it was $18. I don't remember. But you can use YouTuber codes and get like 10% off. I think Julia Mazzucato has one. I know Karen Harris from Karen Harris Makeup has one. So, you know, you can find a code. It shouldn't be hard to find. Next, I have the Natasha Denona, the Beauty New Nudes palette. And if y'all remember when this first came out, I was like, I didn't want to buy it because it was like nudes, and you know, nude are my aesthetic. I assume she meant nudes like everybody else does, which is basically like my skin tone, and y'all know I don't get down with that. But she meant like, you know, more mauvey, berry tone, purpley nudes, and that's definitely my aesthetic when it comes to nudes. So that's how I ended up getting this palette. This palette is really nice. It's actually one of my favorite nude palettes. When it comes to these types of shades, I think it's gorgeous. When I think of nude palettes, I think of this one and the Divine Rose by Pat McGrath. Those are the two that originally come to mind, along with the Kevin Aucoin Nude Pop, because those are my type of shades. But if I didn't have this palette right here, I would be fine with the Daydream palette. Now, again, by Alter Ego. Now, again, this palette is not nearly as good as the Natasha Denona New Nudes palette. Please bear that in mind. This one, you have to work with a whole lot more than you do with that one in order to get the looks. But again, if you don't mind doing the work, this one I think is like $18, just like the other Goddess one I showed you and the Aura one. So that's going to be way cheaper than this one, which is $65. So if I didn't have my main chick, I'd have my side chick, and I just have to, you know, do a little bit more work. I wouldn't be excited about doing more work, but, you know, we do what we have to, especially when the price point is kind of high, because that one was $65. And then this other one I'm going to show you is like $67. However, like, the roles have reversed when it comes to this other palette, believe it or not. So, I have the Stilazzi Dark Room palette that was in collaboration with the Jordan Liberty, a makeup artist. This is what it looks like on the inside. When I first tried this, I wasn't too excited about this palette, just because I felt like a lot of the shimmers didn't give me the pop that I was looking for. Y'all know I like my shimmers to be like this inner corner highlight is popping like that. really shiny, foily, shimmery metallics. And I feel like these are a little bit more satin. You have to build them up and wet a brush and all that. So I wasn't exactly excited about the shimmers in either one of these palettes. However, this would be my main chick palette if I had to choose between the two. And I think you're going to be shocked when you see what I'm comparing it to. But if you saw the video of me comparing this to that other thing, then you shouldn't be surprised. But this is the Salazi Dark Room palette by Jordan Liberty. And the side chick palette, believe it or not, is the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde. Now, I know a lot of people really like this, and I'm sorry if I'm hurting your feelings by calling her a side chick, but I know the shimmers in this palette just completely and utterly let me down. They feel like Super Shock shadows, but they don't give like the shine and pop that I feel like Super Shock shadows give, which is why they're the side chick instead of the main chick, because it's like, this is $67, and it's like I already have a mint shade like this in my, I think it's in the mint palette by, sorry, meant to be by ColourPop. And it's like the shimmers in here just look so great, but then when you put them on, it's just like they're toppers, and that's totally unacceptable for this price point. I feel like it needs to be popping shimmers everywhere, and it doesn't do that for me. I didn't wet the brush with these, but when I put them on, they're just so lackluster to the point where I was just like, you decide, chick, and you cost more. So it's like, I feel like you should do more, and you don't. So with that being said, Jordan Liberty definitely has beat out the Mercury Retrograde in my collection. So this is the main chick, and this is the side chick. And if you all saw, this is in my video of palettes I need to declutter but just can't, because I feel like for the price point that I need to hold on to this and try to make myself use it, even though I don't necessarily like it, because the shimmers aren't that great. And then the mattes in her other palettes I feel like are better. So to me, this was a bust palette. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed my video about my makeup side chicks. Remember, you all are diamonds, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Okay, y'all, so I forgot one more palette in my side chick makeup palettes. I don't know how I forgot this palette, but anyway, y'all know I love me some Milk Cosmetics. So I got my radioactive palette here because I never was able to get my hands on a stack. It was always sold out. But this is what it looks like. It's absolutely stunning. And I'm kind of glad I didn't get the stack, because it doesn't have, the stack didn't have these 4 shades. And I just had these in the front. And y'all know, although I like pink and like green, these are more of my color aesthetic. So I was so glad when they made a palette and it had these colors in it. So if I didn't have this palette though, like the Futurism, what is this? Futurism 4 VR Neons would be my side chick palette. And what I like about this one is they have shimmers as well as mattes. So it has the 4 mattes and it has the shimmers. The only downside is y'all saw the Milk Cosmetics one has more of my color aesthetic when it comes to the blue and the purples and the greens. This one only has like green, and then the rest of them seem like more brighter warm tone things. So that's another reason this is a side chick, aside from the fact that I feel like, I hate to say it, I feel like this brand is kind of overhyped, because all the palettes I tried, I wasn't like super impressed with any of them. And I'm just like, everybody's running around like, oh yeah, this is just so wonderful. And I'm like, where? It's just okay. It's not anything exceptional. Like, if I had to buy from Kaleidos again, I wouldn't rush to buy their eyeshadows. Their highlighter is really nice, but I don't know. I'm just not impressed with the eyeshadows like everybody else is. I'm like, are y'all impressed because of like sending it to you, or are y'all just on a placebo effect and think it's wonderful because everybody else thinks it's wonderful? Because I'm sorry, I'm just not seeing what everybody else is seeing in Kaleidos. Like, it's just okay. It's not as wonderful as I feel like everybody claims it to be. But anyway, remember, y'all are diamonds. I'll see you guys in the next one, since I already did a this once.